Welcome to the fourth part of the story. A house is not a home. Students, I think you are able to see this picture and tell me what is this in the picture? It is a burned house. Yes, students. So, whose house is this? Are you able to guess her name? It is the author's house. That is, her name was Zan Gaudioso. Okay, students. And what was the name of the prose? I have mentioned that it is a house is not a home. Okay, so a house is not a home. Uh, is the actually a prose that is based on actually the teenagers problem. Okay, in the previous class we have discussed the condition of author's house, and we have noticed what are the changes as this is actually happened to author's life, and how a normal life become difficult. Okay, so then let us discuss about the last part of the story. So I will read the story to you. When I walked through what used to be my house after school that day, I was shocked to see how much damage there was. Whatever had been burned was destroyed by the water and chemicals they had used to put out the fire. The only material things not destroyed were the photo albums, documents, and some other personal items that my mother had managed to heroically rescue. But my cat was gone and my heart ached for her. Okay, so students, are you able to recall the story? So now in this passage, what the author is describing, so he is sharing his experience when he visited her burned house. Okay, and what was the condition of the house? Everything was damaged, and some things is still left to burn because because the help of water and chemical. And actually he is listed what is actually not burned, that is her father's album, her father's memories, documents, and other personal documents. Okay, so why these things are not burned, students? Because her mother is actually rescued these things. Here you can see how she is rescued. She is heroically went to her house inside, and they actually rescued the things that is belonging to her father. Okay, and again the author actually mentioning that her cat also is also gone, and along with the lost things we can include her cat also, and which is very hard to believe for her. And in the next passage, there was no time to grieve. My mother rushed me out of the house. We would have to find a place to live, and I would have to go buy some clothes for school. We had to borrow money from my grandparents because there were no credit cards, cash, or even any identification to be able to withdraw money from the bank. Everything had gone up in smoke. Okay, and now the author actually is saying, he's saying there is no time to think more about the lost things, or lost thing, and he cannot get the things back. Mm? Now the only thing that she want to do is that uh, they want a home to live, and they want to purchase some clothes too. And for buying these things, they have to borrow some money from their grandparents, because they lost their every document related to their bank account also, and everything is burned up. So they now they want a house to live. So students, here I have given a question for you. Mention the words which express the author's embarrassment. Yes, you have to mention this. Okay, students? And why was the author feeling shy in this school? Why so? Why she is feeling like the students? Because she was not wearing shoes, because she did not show her school bag and books. Her dress was casual. So all of the above is the correct answer. And students, the next thing is that week the that used to be our house was being cleared of the lot. Okay, even though we had rented an apartment nearby, I would go over to watch them clear away debris, hoping that my cat was somewhere to be found. She was gone. I kept thinking about her as that vulnerable little kitten. So, students, here the meaning of rebel means, or the exact pronunciation of this word is ruble, okay? And it means pieces of broken, and vulnerable means weak, easy to influence. So in this passage you can see the author is saying by this week the house being cleared, okay, but they have rented an apartment nearby their burned house because he want to search his cat, and also he want to help in the cleaning work of his burned house, okay. And again he is thinking about the cat, uh, and being worried because his cat is very weak and very easy to influence by others. So in the in the next passage you can see it always seems that bad news spread quickly, and in my case it was no different. Everyone in his high school, including the teachers, was aware of my plight. I was embarrassed as if somehow I were responsible. What a way to start off at a new school. This was not the kind of attention I was looking for. So, here the plight meaning bad or difficult situation. And we know that if something is happened to our life, uh, news will definitely spread, you know. uh, News will spread over the surrounding, as like the narrator situation is also actually spreaded over his high school, because everybody was giving attention to the narrator. It will be actually sympathy, and so the narrator did not like this kind of attention, okay. Here you can see the situation of the narrator. And from here onwards, what changed Zan's perception of life and made him accept his new life? So tell me, what are the changes that has happened in Zan's life? And you have to tell me how he accept the changes in his life also. Here is MCQ kind of question is there. Of which age group challenges does the story a house is not a home is reflects? Childhood, teenagers, youthful, old age. Which is the correct answer, students? So, the teenage is the correct answer. As we discussed the theme of the story, it is actually discussing about the problems of teenagers' life. So, the correct answer is teenage. Okay. So, what is the difference between these two pictures? Yes, it is actually showing two sides. Okay, students. Here you can see that there is two side in this picture, and that in the one there is empty. Okay, emptiness, and which shows emptiness in our life. And the second picture is showing some kind of richness. Okay, so we can also assume that it is actually the picture is actually talking about others life, and how his life become changed from richness to poor conditions. So if you are not having any materials to learn, and if you lost everything belongs to you, what would be your reaction? You have to tell me. If you are in this situation, how will be your reaction? So let's see how the author is accepted to uh, towards this situation. Okay, students, the next day at school, people were acting even more strange than usual. I was getting ready for gym class at my locker. People were milling around me, asking me to hurry up. I thought it's strange, but in the light of the past few weeks, nothing would surprise me. So milling around means what, students? Moving in an aimless manner. Okay, so in the next day of his school, actually he felt strange. What was the reason, students? But because when he was getting ready to his gym class, his peers were covered and around him, and they said, do the things hurriedly. He thought the situation is very strange, and he thought that something is there for surprising me. But he is again mentioning that, but I will not accept this surprise, because nothing would surprise me in the past few weeks. So let's see what is the surprise. It almost seemed that they were trying to shove me into the gym. Then I saw why. There was a big table set up with all kinds of stuff on it just for me. They had taken up a collection and brought me school supplies, notebook, all kinds of different clothes, jeans, tops, sweet uh, mm, sweatsuit. It was like Christmas. I was overcome by emotion. So shaw means push hard. Okay, and he felt that his peers is going to push hard into the gym. Then he was realized it was for surprising him. They gifted a table, and which includes all the things such as notebook, clothes, and also jean, tops, everything was there, and he was become happy by seeing this. So so students, you have to discuss about this point. What is the most precious according to this lesson? What is the most thing or most precious according to this lesson? And here is a MCQ question for you. What is a home? Where people live together and share a bond of love and care. A house only, a property, or none. In the first class of this lesson, we have discussed what is a home, what is a house. So tell me, where people live together and share a bond of love and care. So let's recap this lesson, students. Describe the hardships faced by the author and his family in the story A House is Not a Home. Compare and contrast the author's life before and after the fire incident. Why did the author get attention in his school? Why didn't he like it? Yes, this is a question for you. Justify the title of the story A House is Not a Home. This is a homework for you, students. So you have to do this homework. So thank you so much for joining this class.